Computers is being finicky this morning, so we're testing something new here. My camera. So yeah, it should be fine. All right. We're going to begin by sitting this morning. So if you're not already, find a comfortable seat. Legs crossed or heels underneath your bum. Elevated or on the ground, use a wall if you need to, or a chair to sit on if that feels better for your knees. Same at the end of practice. Feel free to use whatever you might need to be able to sit freely, at least for a couple of minutes. We'll begin with the palms down on the thighs and softly close the eyes. And just notice as you sit up a little taller and your eyes become a little softer, and your jaw relaxes, how you immediately deepen your breath. It's like a natural response to the stillness, to the withdrawing of the sense, of the sight. And so move and meditate a little mobility, not only for our physical body, but for the mind. And all I want you to do here is breathe a little longer, a little deeper, with more attention, intention. And sit with any resistance that you might feel, any discomfort with the stillness or the quiet. Just ground yourself in the body for a moment and notice how your physical body feels this morning as you move into your practice. Notice what's happening in your mind. Are there any emotions present that you're bringing with you into your practice or that need your attention? And then take a moment, place your hands onto your heart and check in with your heart this morning, your spirit, however you want to relate to it. And let's take some cleansing breaths. So inhale through your nose, through the mouth, exhale. Do that 2 more times, breathe in. A little bit of sound, open mouth. 1 more, inhale. And then a soft little flutter of the eyes open and back to life. We'll come onto our hands and knees, so table pose, uncrossing the legs behind you. Feel free, if it's better for your wrists, use your fingertips or your fists or even your forearms if you need it. Otherwise, if palms are down, spread fingers, knees are underneath hips, and we'll move into some cat-cows. So as you inhale, belly down, heart up. And as you exhale, really percolating that navel, drawing it back as you bow your head to your heart again. And then inhale, soften the udders, open the heart, look up with your eyes, even if they're closed. And then exhale, root into the earth, push the ground away, arch the back. And one more, inhale like that. We talked about it on Tuesday teaching. If you can, keep your eyes open through the practice. Exhale. We've been working with our eyes shut, I think, long enough. So it's a really good metaphor for where we are in life right now. Inhale, come into that neutral spine, navel in. As you exhale, take your left leg straight back. You can keep the toes on the mat or elevate the leg in line with the hip, toes pointing down. And then right arm reaches forward, balancing table pose. Try to settle the gaze because your eyes are definitely open now, so at an unmoving point. Just inviting a little bit of balance into the nervous system. Breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, as you can, bring your elbow to your knee close or intentionally together, maybe touch. And then inhale, expand long again, breathe in. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale long. Put your foot down on the ground, the left toe is down, and then breathe in a little bit more. Reach your right arm to the ceiling so you open your chest up. Good. As you exhale, dive, right arm under the body to the left. Bring your head and your shoulder onto the ground. If it's not safe to twist, stay in balancing table instead. If that feels too unstable, you can put your left knee on the ground. Okay? Otherwise, left heel pushes back. And then if it feels okay, again, working with balance, you can tiptoe your left fingers towards the top of your mat. Now, if you push the right shoulder, right hand down into the ground, you're going to feel more stability. Less about a twist, a little bit more about balance here, right? Good, and then if you took your left arm long, bring it back in front of you. Reach your right arm back up towards the ceiling so you open up. Bring your right hand onto your lower back and try to level out your hips. So probably push the right hip out to the right. Bring the left hip back up. Good, and then lift your left leg back up again if you're not in balancing table. Bend into the left knee, reach back with your right foot. Little push into the foot, open the heart. And again, you're probably pushing out through your right hip. Try to push over to the left a little bit more. Long, deep breath. And then exhale, let it go, table pose. Spread the fingers. Remember, you can do this on your fist forearms or fingertips. 3 cat-cows. Inhale. And exhale. Really slow, deliberate, intentional movement. Inhale. Eyes stay open if you can. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then as you inhale, neutralize the spine. So make sure navel's drawn in. This isn't about clenching through the core. It's just a pulling up so your low back is nice and safe as you extend your right toes back. Remember, you can stay here or lift your foot up off the mat. And then left fingertips can reach forward like they were a moment ago, or extend the left arm, bicep by the ear. Long, deep breaths. Remember, it's an invitation, so if you're feeling a little wobbly, or it's one of those days where it's just too much of a challenge, touch it down. Right? Compassion. And then exhale next time, elbow to knee, or that's the intention. And then inhale long. Exhale, rounding the back a little bit as you pull in. And one more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Good. As you breathe out, right toes anchor to the ground, and then you inhale, that left arm goes up, push into the bottom hand. exhale, dive. Left shoulder and ear come down onto a pillow, block, or ground. You can kind of modify as you need. And again, maybe right knee comes down. Okay? That makes it a much deeper twist. If you're working the balance a little bit more, maybe your right fingertips crawl forward, right arm goes long, and you're still pushing yourself a little bit over towards the left to be mindful. Maybe peeking under that right armpit. Push down through your left arm, left knee. Deep breaths. And if your right arm went forward, slide it back in front of your face. Right toes stay down, push. Left arm reaches up. And then bring your hand onto your lower back and make sure you're not twerking your back, right? So right hip pulls up, right foot floats up, bend the knee, reach back, push your foot into your hand. And just like moments ago, try to push the ground away, left knee, right hand, so you're not sinking down and collapsing into the back, right? Rebounding gravity, using that energy of the earth. And then exhale, table pose. 3 more cat-cows. Inhale, pull the shoulders back, eyes stay open, look up. Exhale, push and round. Really let your neck be free. 2 more in your own breath. So those nice long, slow movements, slow breathing. Trying to work at regulating nervous system energies. And then you can stay in table pose, just walking the hands forward next time after your 3rd breath, coming into a puppy stretch, or if it's okay for your shoulders, downward facing dog. Once you're in downward dog, feel free to sway the hips, pedal the feet, or anything else that might feel good when you begin your practice, just to organize and connect to the back line of the body. Remember, this can also be done on your elbows, dropping them down in a dolphin pose. And we'll take a deep breath in, table or down dog, your choice. And on the exhale, just step your right foot forward between your hands. Help it up if you need to with your right hand. So your knees over your ankle, place your left knee gently on the ground. Crawl up onto the tips of your fingers. Shift your hips back over your left knee. Pat it if you need to. And if you know it's not good to stand on your knee, just do it with the knee lifted, right? So you can come into this variation if you need to. Otherwise, flex the right toes, pull the right hip back and down, soft little bend through your right leg, and then you can fold over it if that's okay for your back. If not, stay level with the heart. Keep the eyes open but focused, right? Find that unmoving point. Listen for the sound of your breath, really calming, soothing sound, so there's no force. Just a nice little ocean breeze kind of sound to the breath. And then bend into that right knee. So you're back in your low lunge. You can stay in a regular lunge if you want, if your knee's not healthy on the ground, and just take a twist like that. Otherwise, your back knee stays down. The right arm is gonna reach up, or you can just gently push on your thigh. It's up to you. And then option to take your back foot up, reach for it, and take a little quad stretch. And really go into the quad. Think quadricep, not back bend, right? So not like leaning back and opening the hips any place other than the top of that left thigh. It's a lot easier when the eyes are open, right? To take in a lot more information around us, to move away from the body. This kind of is the challenge, right? How do we stay connected to ourselves even while we take in the information? us to process and internalize, digest, assimilate. And let go of your back foot. Let it come down nice and soft, and then we're going to go into downward dog or puppy stretch, whatever works in your body this morning or when you're practicing. And feel free to shift the hips or make any other movements that you need to make. And then take a nice breath in. And exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. Help it up, do whatever you need to do. Back knee can stay lifted. Same options are available on the other side, obviously. Fingertips or hands on blocks, whatever you need for a bit more space to shift yourself back. Flex the toes towards the ceiling and then folding forward over that left leg if there's room. So find that gaze at a moving spot, your drishti. Invite a little bit more breath into your back lungs, your kidneys. And bending into your left knee, come forward. Again, your choice on the twist. Coming up onto a block can help too with that bottom hand. And either left hand to left thigh, reach it up to the sky, or reach back for your foot. You might not find it today, right? But that intention is there, and you've already working with your quad stretch. Try not to push the hips over towards the left too much, or let that left knee fall open. Take the little twist through the spine. And stay with any resistance that you're feeling, any discomfort. The great teachings and tools of our asana practice, how to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I used to kind of be thought, I want to be flexible to do yoga, but the reality is it's so much easier to do yoga and to receive that teaching when there's inflexibility, whether it be in our body or our mind, ironically. Come back into table pose or downward dog. Feel free to move around or just be still. All right, so bring your knees back down to the ground if that works for you. And we're going to come down onto the elbows and then slide the legs back and find Sphinx pose. So hips down, heart up. If that's too intense for your lower back, feel free to walk your arms forward and really decrease that curvature on your spine. Take your legs out wider. Whatever you need to do, if it's really not working, just stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands. And then where you are might be enough, because remember, one of my teachers says, resistance is an injury. There's a big difference between the two. And so recognize that, right? When we're in resistance, it's mental. When we're clicking towards injury, it's physical, so we're not paying attention to the signals of the body. And just as you're doing in your half splits, try to bring a little bit more breath into the back of your lungs, into your kidneys, your lower back. And the beauty of working, move and meditate in this type of style is we can start to appreciate how so very little can do a lot. And how those more intentional movements sometimes have more impact than doing more poses. So let's bring our chest down to the ground, slide the hands back, push yourself up to your knees again, wide-legged child's pose. So the knees are gonna flutter apart, the feet are gonna stay touching, and as you go back, the hips might rest onto a block or a pillow between your heels, or place something at the back of your knees, and then stretch your arms out in front of you. Other props can be used underneath your chest or your head so that you can rest towards the earth. A lot of times, especially if you're quite bendy, flexy, a lot of people turn this into a back bend and really sink down. What I want you to think is more your cat pose, right? So pull the navel in. Think about tilting the tailbone back towards your heels and down. So it's more about a backward motion to get into the hips. And let the belly be free between your inner thighs. Let the eyes close now is a good time. Pull your awareness, draw it inside. And take the opportunity just to notice, very simply, how are you showing up for yourself on your mat? Who is showing up? And then nice and slow, come back into hands and knees. Take your time to get there. And once you've done that, feet are gonna go to the sides. So you can sit on your bum or any way that works for you to lay on your back. And if you have a block or something to use as a prop, feel free to bring it with you within reach. If you prefer to come into supported bridge, you can place a block or a bolster underneath your lower back, for example. If you're in unsupported bridge, think about pushing the lower back down and looping your shoulders under first. So as you roll up through your spine, you're trying to literally get off of it, especially the big part of your, the bony part of your neck that you feel at the top. Option to interlace your fingers here as well. And if you know yourself best, right? So if you know that this is meant to be supported on a block, listen to that. Okay. Otherwise, really try to fire up through the legs a little bit more. Maybe lift the toes, feel the inner arches of your legs, or your feet, excuse me. Weight in your heels, and then a little pull together like your inner thighs, inner knees are magnetized towards each other. And then long, deep breaths. Eyes stay open. And stay in the challenge. Stay in your body. Stay with your breath. If you interlace your fingers, release the hands, roll down from the top of your spine, releasing shoulders, vertebra by vertebra. And once you arrive at the ground, draw the right knee into the chest just softly. And you can start to wiggle your left foot forward on the mat if there's room in your lower back. That feels okay. And just deep belly breaths. Notice those moments where you want to look away, right? Where you want to close the eyes, find that unmoving point, focus. And then take your hands from your top shin and bring them to your right hamstrings, to the back of your right leg. Let's do a little vinyasa through the right leg. As you inhale, stretch it long, push through your heel. Your leg might move away from you or not lengthen out fully, that's fine. Exhale, bend the knee, draw the leg in towards the body with the help of your hands. So inhale, push through the right heel, extend the leg long. Exhale, pull in a little bit deeper. One more, inhale. And exhale. As an option, take your right hand to the baby toe side of your right foot, left hand to left hip bone, and then pull the foot up over your knee. Knee stays bent and comes down to the outer right ribs, half happy baby. Little energy running out through your left heel as you push away and down. And take your left hand from your left hip, find your right leg and cross it over the body, knee down twist. So you're gonna roll onto your left hip. If it's not safe to twist, just think about knee back into the chest or stay in half happy baby. Okay. Right shoulder tries to plug into the ground. Maybe you turn your gaze over towards the right and now close your eyes again. Take it back inside. Notice where the breath and how the breath travels through your body in this shape. And head to center. If you turned it to the side, bring your right knee back up and just step your right foot down onto the ground. Bring the left knee in towards your body. Grab a hold of the shin if you can, or strap it. Relax the shoulders. Back of the neck is long here as well, so chin slightly tucked in, and then maybe you wiggle that right foot forward or extend it straight along on the earth, pushing out through your right heel. It's a little tender release for our lower back. Eyes stay open. Breath is full. And then hands move to your left hamstring. Come into that little body vinyasa. So as you inhale, push your left heel to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend the knee and draw the knee a little closer to your left ribs. 2 more. Inhale long. And exhale, pull. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Stay like this. Or left hand, baby toe side of your left foot. Half happy baby is your right hand, anchors your right hip towards the ground. So you want to push down through your right leg so you're not toppling over to the left. Relax the jaw, the space between the eyes so your face is soft even with the eyes open. If you notice you want to disrupt a little bit with, an exhale through the mouth, like when we started. Can break up any little bits of thinking or physical tension with that nice cleansing breath. And then your right hand helps your left leg cross over the body as your left arm reaches out, so you're back into knee down twist. And you can see I'm using my own arm as a prop to support the leg. If you have a block, it doesn't come down. And then maybe turning your head over to the left if that feels good for the neck. and then close your eyes back down. And sending the breath into those spots that might feel a little sticky or tight or stuck right now. Head to center, knee comes up. Place both feet softly on the ground. Let's take a moment to let your knees fall into touch, your feet go out wide. Place one hand on your belly and the other hand on your heart. Soften your low back into the mat so your hip flexors can really release. Eyes are still closed, long deep breaths. Just getting grounded, feeling the earth supporting you, holding you up. And stay with yourself. Little pauses in the practice when things get integrated and consolidated through the nervous system, through the senses, the systems. So let's draw the knees in towards the chest, or knee. You can either rock and roll on your back. If that's not good, just roll to your side for a breath or two. And then we'll bring ourselves right back up to sit where we started. Feel free to sit on something. Chair works. Use the wall if you need to. And then in that comfortable seat, once again, I want you to, just as we began, palms down on your thighs. This is a really rooting and grounding mudra to help us stay connected to earth energy, to our own energy, and then just feel a sense of earth and rooting and groundedness within ourselves. So the eyes are going to close down, but inwardly, I want you to pull the eyes like you're looking at the ground. So don't drop your head down to do that. The eyes just close, and then inwardly, it's like you're trying to look down at your chin. Let's put it like that. Or down at like the tip of, no, the chin's good. Let's imagine we're trying to look down at our chin. So an inner grounding gaze. They're also really good. There's little pockets of the eyes and the nose that have no optical nerves or little blind spots. And so this helps us, and anytime we look up or down, but we're pulling like we're going cross-eyed kind of, we're starting to block out a bit of the messaging from the eyes to the nervous system and to the brain. So imagine eyes closed, inner gaze, pulling down towards the chin or the ground. It's gonna feel a little awkward at first, and then everything adjusts. Sit up super tall, chin is still parallel to the earth. And then a slight pull back. So imagine you're trying to plug your head into the socket, right? So you feel this little pull back of the chin. Shoulders relaxed. We've taken in a lot of information through our practice, through our senses, through social media, through the world. Imagine this time as information processing center, right? When we just have to let those, we're taking in like 11 million bits of information in between our world and our senses and our brain and our eyes and all of this. And 40 bits are actually just getting through almost every minute. And so we just need time. We need time. So you're just breathing, right? There's like nothing else to do. We sometimes want to do more, and all we need to do in that moment is breathe our breath to facilitate that processing and that state of change, that course correction, whatever it might be. And as in our postures, we might encounter the resistance to change, the resistance to sensation, the resistance to stillness, the resistance to inaction, the resistance to action. There's resistance that shows up in many multiple ways. Just be awake and aware to your own in this moment. And deeply work at practicing ahimsa. This yogic tool, or yama ahimsa, something that is often translated to non-harming, but can also be in a more feminine way thought of as self-love, patience, compassion, understanding. It can be challenging to love the part of ourselves that are sitting in shame or discomfort or rage or sadness, or for a lot of people, that same discomfort with happiness and joy. So compassion, compassion, compassion. And we recognize that compassion is not a way of being, but it's an energy. So as we let the other stuff process and assimilate and integrate and absorb or release, the energy shifts, and it's like it's a brewing. So we often think of that we can go into the world. The more I love myself, the more I can love others. The reality is you're cultivating, you're brewing this energy so it just naturally exudes from you. In Buddhism, we call this the metta moment. That loving kindness. May I be happy and free. May you be happy and free. May the world be happy and free. And you can replace those words with any words. Safe and loved. take a few more moments, either, sitting to feel that sense of compassion brewing inside of you, that metta energy, repeating silently or out loud those words, however it feels right for you, but I'm going to leave it silent. Let's bring our hands together in prayer pose. Use these last final moments when we're energetically most powerful. Say a prayer, make a wish, dedicate this practice, whatever feels right for you. Drawing the thumbs up to your third eye. Pause there in stillness and in silence, and just let the thumbs, like the hands, that pressure against your frontal lobe, really connect you to consciousness, to the moment.